always good. I've started to realize it's really good to start putting your intentions out there, like not in the sense of you tell people your goals necessarily, but what you intend to do, right? Because when people are like, oh, I want to do this, it gratifies you and makes you feel like you've actually done something. You validated yourself. Feels like other people are like, wow, this guy has like big plans or whatever. But one thing that's really nice to do is, I was looking back through my notes a few weeks back, and on the notes, it was like the main chief goals for my life, or what I wanted to do, whatever, right? And I think a lot of them, maybe half of them were ticked off, and a lot of it was move overseas, start a business, be able to live remotely or work remotely, let's say, buy certain things and that type of thing. So a good few of the initial base ones started to tick off, and I thought that was such a cool memory to look back on and be like, wow, like when I was working literally in a juice bar, making coffee 16 hours a day, going to university the other 8 hours, maybe not 8 hours, but I was literally doing like 120 hours a week at that point. And there's not really any reason why someone working in the airport, getting up at 4 a.m. to go make coffee for people who are grumpy going out to whatever they're going to do, to be thinking like that, really, right? And I just think it's such a nice memory to look back on and be like, okay, cool. That's like the vision that I had for myself, and now like you're kind of halfway through living it. And I wanted to use this video to just put it out there a little bit for future me looking back on this. And yeah, we're in a beautiful spot, but really realistically, we're on holiday here. You got rental cars, you know, it's great, it's fun, it's a good, nice lifestyle. But I think it would be amazing, you know, 5, maybe less, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, looking at how much has changed. Maybe the business has grown a lot more than it has. Left or right, you think? I say left. Yeah. Maybe the business has grown way more than we think. Maybe wife, kids, growth, and every other part. Maybe, you know, we got supercars that we're bringing out our own houses out here too. So it's always good to put that intention out, right? So for me, right now, we're kind of at a stage where it's still in the initial stage of the business. Yeah, we're growing, we're starting to master marketing channels and get good at scaling, still working in operations and fulfillment always, right? Because we've been focusing on the product. So we're at a stage where we've started to get product market fit, really building out the personal brand. I'd say right now, my personal brand also in our specific business, the Pipeline Generator itself, is on the small end, you know, LinkedIn, 1,000 followers, Twitter, close to 5, I think, and Instagram. I don't really push it on Instagram, but now I'm at a stage where I'm starting to push the Pipeline Generator stuff. We're scaling there, building out the team. We've got most of the department heads, which I think will be with the company for a while, fingers crossed, and we can build out departments under them. So that's starting to grow. The other thing is we're early in the initiatives of the Pipeline Generator AI stuff, which we're just about to deploy for a big enterprise client. We're actually in the process of deploying it for them. And I think that has huge potential to grow. So I think that would be amazing to see that software, SaaS, whatever you want to call it, grow into something massive as its own product. Now, one other thing that I've been working on that's kind of come out of nowhere in the last few days is the consultancy. So obviously, I originally started out doing kind of sales teams operations for info educational companies mostly. And I got really, really good at that. I was managing 7, 8 of them at the same time, just being like fractional COO type services. Anyway, I kind of stopped and applied a lot of that to traditional like service-based model, agency, whatever you want to say, and still retain all the skills. Obviously, we do AST and coach people on those type of things too. And now it's in the last month kind of came about where I took on one consultancy client just for a small like 2K fee or something like that, just to test it out because they needed help for operations. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Then they referred me 2 case studies, they tripled their business. Then they referred me to someone else. That person referred me to someone else and closed both of them. And then I closed a 5K a month deal last week, a 4K a month deal this week, and a 2K coming in next week. And I haven't even marketed this service at all. And that made me think is like, usually for any type of product or service, you got to go through a lot of iterations for product market fit. A lot, like hundreds to 1,000. And for that type of response for a business that I haven't even tried to market at all, haven't pushed at all, it's been entirely organic, mostly off referral, it's a pretty good sign, right? So now it's got me thinking that I should maybe take a little bit more time and attention to focus on, like we're talking about levers, right? Is building people that build companies. So for us, what I want to focus on over the next few years is building out each of those roles and departments and really growing the people within them for Pipeline Generator, for Pipeline Generator AI. And then whether it's for the consultancy stuff, either find a way to leverage my time a little bit better, whether it be the position I consult these companies in, or bringing in people to coach and do the actual implementation, because that's worked out to be pretty good so far. I took on this operations guy who reached out to me on Twitter maybe 2 weeks ago. He had no experience. He played with APIs and that type of thing. Within 2 weeks, this guy who had never sold he literally came to me because he didn't know how to sell his service. And within 2 weeks, he was already pitching a 4K a month client for operations, because we went through I had him do a bunch of projects internally, taught him the basics, and then from there he was just like instantly 4K a month. And for him, he lives in Milan, I think he's from Florence. And for him, like 4K a month is like double the average salary of a full-time career, which is with one client. And that was like, okay, it's starting to make me think like this maybe might have a little bit more traction than I thought. So fingers crossed. My plan is once we start building those out with the consultancy, SaaS, and the actual service side of the business, I want to continue growing them. By this time, at least either next year or the year after, I'd like to be at $500,000 a month of the service business. The SaaS, I would like that to be doing a lot more just because it has a higher potential. So fingers crossed, I'm going to be seeing that at least crack $1 million within the first 2 years a month, because it has a super, super high retention and actually has enterprise value as a software itself. And then for the consultancy, I don't know, I think that's been more of a fun project that I'll take on and see how I want to build that out. But it would be amazing to work with some of the biggest teams, deploying some of the operational stuff that I've picked up over the years in automation and all that type of stuff for them. And I was having a chat with Josh earlier about a similar thing that he's doing on the sales side, because we used to work together doing both the sales and the operations, on how he's pitching the sales management side. And so I think I'm going to take this weekend to look over both of those and really build it out as a actual product or service and see how far that goes. So yeah, now you get to a point too where business is on the right track, let's say. Things are going well. You kind of ticked off the main prerequisites for feeling like you're on the right track or path, or at least I am. I hold myself I'm very tough with myself on that type of stuff in terms of having set things that I have to, have at a baseline as like a standard. And one thing that I'd really like to build out separate to the business stuff is really work on relationships romantically and just friends and that type of thing. But the power of network is super, super strong. So I really want to double down on that and work with my existing partners and future business partners, whether that be. And also, I think looking at family, kids over the next few years, it would be something amazing to have when the business continues to grow and that type of thing. So I think that's my goals for the next 2 to 3 years, is really focus on building out fantastic cash flow from the businesses themselves. Obviously, we're already happy. We're in a great position purpose-wise. I love doing what we do and the team that we have and the culture that we've built. And then also using that to start looking after different parts of the family and looking to have my own family, really. Ideally have the ability to retire early if you want, and be able to have places like this, have a place in the south of France, some beautiful cars, and lots of kids to share it with. So just putting it out there that those are on the horizon, and that's what's going to be next.